We are in front of the quality room where we manage the customer satisfaction in terms of claims, ppm and number of parts. We manage with Eric Petit the customer answer after reclaims, and if we are in red, we open a QRQC in the staff to be sure that we will answer in the day and to organize the support we will give to the production. We manage also the internal demerits, and we ensure that we have opened a QRQC when we have found a problem which could affect the customer.
Today I play an important role on my press as regards the ppm rate. If I find myself with 3 scrap rejects in an hour, I stop the press, notify my gap leader and put up my red flag to indicate the defect. These days I can trust my operators. If there's a quality problem, they shut down their press and call me in. I go over and check out the defect. And I check what has been produced to reassure our customer. I then ask the machine setter to check the press settings to make sure we're to standard. After that, we launch QRQC to identify the causes of the problem. As a supervisor, my job is to coach the gap leaders to use this quality system. QRQC has helped me to rely on gap leaders enormously. The system has helped us to empower our operators and gap leaders with respect to the injection moulding scrap reject rate. To make sure everyone adopted the system, we defined our response thresholds at startup and in full production, according to the reject rate of each of the moulds. The aim was to limit the number of QRQC processes per gap and per team. Everyone very quickly realized how useful the system was, and the thresholds were lowered by the gap leaders and operators themselves.
We have just seen the ppm scrap reduction in injection. Now we will see the ppm reduction customer in painting.
In January, our client Renault notified us about a defect on the corrugated weld on gear shifts, so we launched the production line QRQC. As it was a technical defect, it called for an in-depth analysis. The UAP manager asked us to integrate the defect into a UAP QRQC. The UAP QRQC helped us to identify 2 factors, the geometry of a rib and a defective weld. The geometric analysis showed us that the parts were okay, so we analysed the process, found the cause and fixed it. Since then, we've had no further occurrences of the defect. In January 2006, we were getting 93 ppm in the paint UAP. Since March 2006, we've been achieving 0 ppm customer. When the QRQC process is completed, I take advantage of the visit of site manager Eric Petit and plant quality manager Arnaud Martel, and together we take the decision to close the QRQC. Cutting ppm also calls for reliable inspection, which is why we introduced the penalty points system. To supplement gauge R&R, we introduced a 12-point penalty system like a driver's license, valid for 3 months. Each customer return incurs a penalty point, and each operator is monitored individually.
In conclusion, what the tools, QRQC, stop at defect on assembly line, level of reaction in technological process, driving license on gauge area give us, it's simply the reduction by 50% of the scraps in the factory regarding middle of year last year and this year. We are going to from 28,000 ppm in June 2005 to 14,000 ppm in June 2006. It means the equivalent of 14,000 parts scraps less in June. And the ppm, customer ppm, was at the middle of year last year 284 ppm 6 rolling months, and it's in June now 55 ppm 6 rolling months.